Hello and welcome back, listeners, to the Allegendly podcast, where me and my co-hosts get a mystery topic coupled with some mystery facts, and it's our job to figure out which facts are real and which facts are fake. My name is Alex, and with us always is Joe.
I want allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Right. It doesn't
like
fit
it.
as well. I'm not as proud.
Now, you know what? No, it does. We fit very well in pretty much every instance. That's the nature of the podcast. We go everywhere. We see all the things.
Fit in all the stuff.
Yep. Like, we are as big or as small as we need to be.
It's a long slogan. I was like, that's a...
So you ready to get to today's podcast topic? See what we're dealing with?
Let's do it, man.
Fuck yeah. All right. So today's podcast topic is Sultans of the Ottoman Empire.
Okay. All right.
Context: the Ottoman Empire lasted from 1299 to 1922.
Yeah. Kind of a big deal that I know very little about.
Yeah, I don't really know a whole lot. Sometimes it's kind of like I'm not very good with music, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll know songs, but I won't know artists as well. So it's kind of like when I learned what CCR was for the first time, like I really started paying attention, and I was like,
sure,
they did everything, like fucking almost every
major, like all the songs. Yeah,
it was wild. So like, I knew like all their songs, I just didn't know it was them and collectively recognize them. And I think the Ottoman Empire is kind of like that too. Like, you know, you hear about all these things, you're like, oh yeah, fucking that was Ottoman. What the fuck?
Great loungewear, living room collections, amazing.
You know what would be funny is if they didn't invent that. That was like some...
yeah, no, like it's just a Western thing.
Yeah,
we just called it like because it sounded exotic.
It's the Ottoman Empire. You'll have you resting for 600 years.
Put your feet up.
All right. Well, I don't really know a whole lot. It doesn't sound like you know a whole lot. So this is gonna be a doozy.
Little. Yeah, I know it existed, and I know it was a long time.
Well, I think that's pretty much what I know too.
So I am even fuzzy on exactly where it was.
Ooh, she provided a map.
Yay!
The Ottoman Empire is right between Bulgaria and Armenia. You're welcome.
Well.
Yeah, no, I would have fucked that up too. No, it's Middle East. It's around, like, it's got North Africa, like basically the coastline of North Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a text from the writer. She probably can explain it. Oh, okay, yeah. It surrounds the Mediterranean. And it's got elements of the Red Sea around it. So, like, it's basically a really large part of the Middle East is what the Ottoman Empire was. Mm-hmm. So, cool.
I remember at some point I saw something, and like at one point it like bordered India and stuff like that. Like it expanded out quite some time and then shrank over time.
Yeah, it's wild. So, all right. Well, you ready to get to the first fact and see what we're dealing with? Good old Ottoman.
Yeah, I don't have a pun, so let's go for it. Yeah,
right on. Yeah, I was thinking of something too. Like,
yeah, I was like, yeah, like I don't have a clever little zinger to get into this one.
It made me question too. Do I really know what an Ottoman is? So I got a little self-conscious of that as well.
I'm like, when was the last time I was on Wayfair?
Yeah. Shit, it's been like 2 years since I've hit Big Lots. God damn it. Fucking IKEA, dude. It's got me all fucked up. All right, here we go. Fact number 1. It was legal during the Ottoman Empire for heirs to the throne to kill their familial rivals, but it was also unacceptable to spill royal blood. Thus began the tradition of strangling one's brothers and uncles with a silk cord.
Ooh, that sounds like rich people shit.
That's like dueling yachts, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, who's enforcing? Like, if I'm a prince, right? I'm next in line to the throne. You're my brother. You're my older brother.
Yeah,
I need you out of the way, right? I'm gonna stab the shit out of you. Like, who's gonna hold me? I would hold me accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, who would also know that you killed me? I assume
Exactly.
you could just frame someone else.
Unless they're just doing it in public. Like, it's like a feast. And they're just, like, hanging out. And, like,
or
the brother's
maybe that's why you strangled him, to let others know it was you.
Well, I mean, okay, ideally, if this is legal, right? And the spilling of blood is also illegal, as long as you don't spill blood, right? Then you're perfectly within your bounds. So yeah, like, you can be partying and I lean over to you and I'm like, hey, this is a great
what's up, man?
Just like, yeah. And
it's not silk. What is that? Like 200 count?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like sandpaper.
It's cutting me.
No, Dad always said you were the poor one. Oh no, it's cutting me more than strangling me. This is terrible.
You're spilling blood.
No,
should you silk?
The floor is lava. The floor is lava. Take it back.
They're like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the silk cord. My bad. Like, sorry, brother. I shall
come back and try to strangle me when you actually have some silk.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. It is wild. And why not get like a servant to do it? Why you? I guess probably because it's legal for you to do it. Like,
I mean, I would imagine you would have access.
What about poisoning? I would think poisoning would be a way more, like, that's the easier way of getting, because then,
dude,
you know,
go full gladiator. Put snakes in the bed, dude. Way cooler.
Fuck. So, I think this is true. I think this is something they did, but
yeah,
I also think, you know, people in that time period probably weren't the most forward-thinking people. We could figure it out more effectively, you know.
Hey,
We're
look,
like,
I think planning ahead to go buy silk for strangling, it's pretty forward thinking.
Well, also too, the Ottoman Empire lasted until 1922. Was this happening up to that point?
I hope so.
That would be crazy.
It'd be wild. Like, it'd be wild to just be sitting like in the street and like a newsie comes up, like, you know, like, brother strangles brother with silk. Get your headline over here. Like,
they did it in the park.
Yeah,
publicly.
Yeah. Extra. Read all about it.
Artist rendition, front page.
Just like, not a drop of blood was spilled. It's cool. It's all legal, man.
Perfectly legal. Silk cord.
Anyway, so we got a new leader now. Currency's gonna change again. It's the 5th time this year.
Dude, fucking yeah, and seeing how the currency was, that's not a good sign. Dude, like, they're just all derpy. Fuck.
Sultan's mom says maybe it was a problem to have 12 kids.
Everybody's strangling themselves.
You know how expensive 11 fucking caskets is, says Sultan's mom.
How much was the fucking silk? That had to be spun by silkworms. Apparently.
Yeah. There's
stolen
no
from China
nonsense there, dude.
Well, you remember they stole it from China. They had to like smuggle it out.
Like that's what like the Mongolians like.
Yeah, they smuggled them out of like canes and stuff, and then brought them. And then Italy got some, and then they sold them. Yeah, fucking wild, dude. So yeah, I'm gonna say that sounds like the most rich person thing you can do.
Yeah, like the rich people making rules to murder your siblings. Make like that's only rich people do that.
Fucking 100%. Plus, on top of that whole, it's like that, like silk and really expensive ways to kill people is usually rich. So like setting traps too, like booby trapping a bed or something. That's some rich.
Like, and it's never fun. It's never like you have to have at least 3 elaborate pulley contraptions.
Yeah,
like you have to Rube Goldberg commit familicide. You know.
You're just watching this contraption go, and then all of a sudden this cord just like, and you're like, oh, why did I stand here?
No, I got this great, like, it cracks your eggs for you, I swear.
Some Pee Wee Herman's like,
just a gun at the end of it.
There you go, dude. Okay, well, I mean, maybe that should be the new rule. You know, familial killing their familiar rivals is legal, but only if it's a part of a Rube Goldberg plot.
Oh,
Because
I
think,
want
honestly,
that defense in court so bad.
Your Honor, he should have saw this coming from a mile away. It's his fault at this point for not getting up and moving.
He set a world record for knocking down dominoes, and he just stood there.
We even had a sign halfway through that said it was going to shoot you, and he still didn't move, so...
I guess he thought it was a joke. Your Honor, is it a crime that he didn't know what satire was?
They're like, well, I see no reason to convict this man. Innocent.
There was at least 3 polies involved. Case cleared.
Obviously, this took money. But yeah, I'm gonna say true because if it's not, it's funnier. Like, they just stab each other to death.
Side note, we should bring back medically assisted suicide just because I want now a Rube Goldberg to go up. Just make a videotape. It's just like, I'm here of sound mind, and I just pull this elaborate. I pull a pulley, and this just mousetrap goes off behind me for 5 minutes.
You know what, though? I'm going to say this, right? You know what's funny about that is there is a time when you could get out. You could double think it and then step out. So, you know, you have like a 2-hour Rube Goldberg going off in the middle of the forest.
Do I really want this, or do I just want this dope Rube Goldberg?
Yeah. At the last second you move away from the lethal injection, you're like, whoa.
Though it would be great if the last thing you ever did on this planet was like, it worked.
See, dude, like Rube Goldbergs are so funny too because they just do the most mundane things. Like, could you imagine flipping a switch on like the electric chair during like an execution? That's all it does. It just like goes around the room, like lights like, you know, a rabbit's tail, and it has to run across a conveyor belt that flips something else. And all it is at the very end, the last domino falls and just flips the switch.
Oh yeah, he'll go shortish mouse. That's right. There you going on there.
Dude, could you imagine if the Rube Goldberg failed at the very end and they had to reset it? Like, hold on.
Oh no! Like if the Rube Goldberg fails, you get a pardon.
Oh yeah, you're just waiting.
So you're just like, come on, baby, come on. Like you're just wait. Like, no, that marble looks lopsided. I'm good.
Yeah, that fucking blow over the dominoes earlier in the wrong.
I told you to stop using candles, burning strings in these.
Yes, there it is. He just blew out the candles. We had to let him walk.
Yeah,
man killed 15 people.
He confessed to all of them. Like,
he didn't even hide it. He told us where they're buried, how he did it. He has to walk now because we use candles.
His last words are like, I'm going to blow this candle out and then kill more.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again.
See you in 6 months, fellas.
The writer says that's totally a thing that would happen in Japan.
Just ultimate MXC, dude.
Dude, they would totally do something like that. And then, but right before the end, they would thank you for your patience. They're like, thank you for your patience and waiting this out. And then it's like, flip. So, well, I think we solved a lot of problems here.
If not, we certainly gave joy to the world.
Yes, we did. But we're going true, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just go true because I think that you're 100% right. Rich people would do this shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure this was in season 3 of
Tutors.
Yeah.
What was the one? Not Canterbury Tales. Was it Downtown Abbey?
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, Downtown Abbey. There you go.
Yeah.
Strangle people.
Yes. This was. I was going to say season 3 of Succession.
Yep. They're like, well, it's a silk cord. We can't do anything about that.
Kieran Culkin's just strangling everybody with silk ribbons.
All right, so for fact number 1, then we're gonna go true that it was legal during the Ottoman Empire for heirs to kill their family members, but it was unacceptable to spill blood, so they did it with a silk cord. 3, 2, 1. Bam. It is true.
Nailed it.
So this is from Wikipedia and Smithsonian Mag. There was no firstborn son rule like in Western Europe. The process to ascend to the throne during the first half of the Ottoman Empire was like baby tiger sharks in the womb. Race to the capital and destroy as many of your siblings as you can. The one that's left survives to rule them all. The custom was made official legal doctrine in the 15th century when the Sultan declared, quote, any of my sons that ascends the throne, it is acceptable for him to kill his brothers for the common benefit of the people, end quote. No one was spared. There was a written account of infants being strangled with silk scarves.
Oh God.
God damn it. In my cursory...
I just, for whatever stupidly, I assumed there was an age limit, but...
Because there should be. Why is that? Listen, wait. I guess I don't get it outside of these are just psychotic rich people, which totally makes sense.
Yeah, that's straight up psycho people.
Yeah, but like, the baby is not going to usurp you at that time.
Right, yeah. You could wait a bit, my guy.
Yeah, like, I guess I don't understand the logic there. That's like, I'm going to take care of this
You're
baby.
Getting rid of future threats, I guess. But...
Yeah, like, fucking 15 years. This is like the 1600s.
Yeah.
This 15th century. Like,
he's probably going to die of a cold.
Yeah. Like, you're probably going to shit yourself to death before this baby has time to fucking grow up. God, dude. Okay, it says here, the writer says, in my cursory research, I couldn't find any instances of a sultan's son being spared or allowed to abdicate the throne voluntarily in favor of private life. It was simply unheard of at that time. If you were a male in the royal bloodline, you grew up knowing it was kill or be killed at any age, at any time. How did they fucking survive so long?
Well, I imagine at least one or two of them was like, maybe murdering a baby's bad.
I mean, at some point, I start building alliances, right?
Well, I mean, I imagine you just start building separate homes.
Yeah.
So I imagine there was as many murders as there was 3 times as many failed murdered attempts. So
that's wild.
You just learned how to bob and weave at a young age.
Yeah, I did not think that this was going to take that turn of, hey, you can't even give up the throne, man. So you're born in the family. Your uncle's going to kill you.
Right, yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
Not gnarly, dude.
Well, so I think we learned here that, again, rich people are shit.
It just proves that the manosphere is nothing new.
Yeah. Fucking nothing new. What is nothing new under the sun?
I mean, they didn't even get, toxic masculinity, Even that's just a hand-me-down.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, you're right. Like, we're basically just stealing all the past shows. Like,
yeah.
we're fucking, just copy and pasting all the shit we used to do.
Yeah.
And we think we're so original. Motherfuckers are strangling each other. Like, the picture she has, like, the old time picture's kind of grainy, but it's just a group of people. It looks like a group of people strangling one dude with a cable. So, fucking, at least a couple of brothers are working together on this one. They're like, get his legs!
You gotta, dude. It's the ultimate survivor, dude. Like, you gotta make an allegiance.
I mean, you have to think, though, that, like, to do it bloodlessly, it's probably easier to do it, if they're older and, like, decrepit or sickly or something like that. If you're, like, a grown man, right, they kind of have to catch you off guard. Because they can't just walk up and stab you or shoot you or something. Like, it has to be a very specific way.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. How do you not fight back? Like, I just carry a knife. Like, it's illegal? What are you going to do? Fucking strangle me? Are you going to hang me with a silk rope? Like,
this is why you do it when they're sleeping, dog.
Yeah, but, like, I don't sleep with a dagger on me. They're just like, it's like...
You're assuming that they didn't. They might have. Like, this is why people survived. Babies with daggers.
Babies with little guns.
Just sitting there. Elaborate Rube Goldbergs over their cribs.
You have to complete the Rube Goldberg to get to the baby. Oh.
Like just to get inside the palace was like a God of War contraption.
Oh God, dude. Where it says I envision it like, quote, guards kill him and either they kill him or they kill you. Yeah. Terrifying. Fucking
Gnarly, man. Gnarly.
Yeah, because like who do you trust at that point? Like everybody's kind of out to get you. Because then the guards, I'm assuming shit's hard for the guards that like let the person they were guarding die.
Could you imagine making minimum wage for that shit? That'd be crazy. Like, you think your boss sucked.
Yeah, you were working for food. That's what you were working for. Ridiculous. But we got it right.
I mean, I assume that this is how Elon Musk thinks his kids are going to grow up, so.
Dude. Just fucking all 15 of them.
He just hands them chainsaws when they're 5.
Yeah. It's like was it like UFC, right? There's just this golden octagon, and he's just gonna let him go at it when he's like 90. Get him! Use the silk boxing gloves. All right, well, we got the point though. Go to us.
Yay! Yay!
It is a good start for us.
Yay! We got baby murder.
Oh, sad. All right, here we go. Fact number 2. 1/3 of the first 10 sultans of the Ottoman Empire died of gout. There's a new fear unlocked. I didn't even know gout could kill you.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know. My dad.
I knew it was
gout.
really painful. I didn't know it could get you though. I assumed it was all the food you were consuming that got you before.
Well, yeah, right. The 15 fucking pheasants that you ate earlier that day.
I figured a heart attack got you before gout got you.
I think gout probably leads to infection because I remember my dad's legs would swell because he had gout, and they'd have to drain him and all that. But it's like really painful. But yeah, I think you probably get an infection and die from that.
Right. Yeah.
First, yeah, of course. I think gout's also a byproduct of just not moving, like a sedentary life. You know,
it can be. It can also be genetic as well. I just
then it would make sense that 10 of the first, the 1/3 of the first 10 sultans. I mean, then that's just a genetic marker.
Yeah. So, I mean,
look, I'm a pop.
I mean, unless they were all vegetarian, I can see it. Yeah.
Vegetarian.
I mean, look, man. I don't know.
The Ottoman Empire, bro.
It could happen.
Vegetarian. No, I agree. It has to be something along those lines, or just genetic, or something that's I don't know. I'm feeling true on this one. I'm feeling true.
Yeah, sure. I could go I could go either way.
Oh. Just like that Rube Goldberg.
Well, no, Rube Goldbergs are only supposed to go one way.
Well, supposed to, but if I blow out the candle.
True, yeah.
Then we'll see which way that goes.
I'll take my pardon now.
Yes. Thank you, Governor. So, all right, well, for fact number 2, we'll just go true. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go true on fact number 2, that 1/3 of the first 10 sultans of the Ottoman Empire died of gout. 3, 2, 1, bam! It is true.
Oh, you felt correctly.
I did. I felt the right answer.
You chose wisely.
Well, that's okay. The last guy that chose fucking died, so that's a good sign.
Because he chose poorly.
So, like most kings, sultans knew how to mow down some grub. Turkish palaces were equipped with multiple kitchens, including one dedicated to bread and pastries, one for desserts and confections, one for mixing medicinal remedies, and one exclusively for the preparation of the sultan's meals. A sultan might have 1,000 people just to work the kitchens. Many of the foods they ate had been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years in the regions, and are foods you would recognize. They regularly dined on lamb, chicken, dumplings, dolmades. Did you say tamales? No,
I'm like, what?
Dolmades. I don't know what that'd be in Turkish. Dolmades?
Dolomite.
Dolmades. Rice pilaf, rich meat stews, stuffed peppers, kebabs, and flatbread. Baklava is said to have been perfected in Turkish palaces. All of their meals would have been enhanced with the most interesting and exotic herbs, spices, fruits, and nuts the world's had to offer. The famous dish, a hearty lamb stew served over a creamy, smoky eggplant puree, was named Hunkarbeyendi. Dang. Which literally translates to the Sultan liked it. Because of the constant threat to power, meals were also a vulnerable time for a sultan. As such, they tended to eat alone or only with their closest confidants, and only after multiple people had tasted it first to make sure it wasn't poison. Naturally, any meals would be served on the finest Chinese porcelain or plates made of gold. Recipes were kept secret so as to maintain their exclusivity to royalty. Once the peasants get to have it, it's not fun anymore.
I mean, facts.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah. That's why we only keep such low viewership.
Yeah. Once we get out to the public.
Yeah. Gross.
We're worthless. You know?
Well, then you just sell. What's the point anymore?
Yeah. I mean, once we hit past 15 million subscribers, like, what's the point? Why even do this right now?
That's mostly pores at that point.
Here's the thing, though. I'm going to be honest with you. This sucks. Like, this does sound like legit something to gripe about. And you're like, my brother's plotting to kill me.
I have to eat all my meals alone or else I might get murdered.
Yeah. Worst part is I know that. Like, and what's funny too is the proclamation came from a sultan that this why couldn't it have been reversed? Like, they just kind of like let it happen for like 400 years.
Well, because everyone who became sultan got there by murdering, so they're like, well, yeah, you just keep going.
Yeah,
system works, bro.
Yeah, fucking look, I'm a badass. And so obviously this is the right move. Damn.
Well, and there was Stephen Miller types then.
Oh, dude.
That were like, you can't take that away. You take that away, you just take away the whole empire. Our whole entire empire is built off of that. Like, we got to go back to that.
Yeah, even then he was bitching about the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah. We got to make the Ottoman Empire great again. Bring back murder.
You know what killed the Roman Empire? Women.
Not enough baby murder.
Not enough baby murder. Listen. Silk cable for everybody.
Look, I said it then, but it was a slippery slope when we started allowing using cotton.
There needs to be an official proclamation. If you can't afford the silk, can't kill anybody.
Soft. We don't want a group of soft sultans.
Ugh, gross. People that say they don't want to murder somebody.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Well, I imagine the people that made, the royal strangling silk, they wanted this to stay in business. Could you imagine it's embroidered? Like,
He's got to have some class.
Yeah.
Right? The strangling silk, he can't come in not flashy.
It's initial.
Gold.
It's got their moniker in it.
Dude, yeah, it's all like golden threads throughout and shit. And it's just like, you got to do it with style.
Oh, dude.
Like he's not gonna
little bedazzle action on it.
Bedazzle. Yeah, you gotta be careful bedazzling though. That can cut him open in the jugular.
Yeah.
Don't want that. Then that's illegal. That's wrong.
Yeah. That's basically cheating at that point.
That's cheat. Yeah, you cheated the system. So, all right. You ready for fact number 3?
Let's go.
Fact number 3. The Ottomans eventually stopped killing their brothers because they realized that marrying them off would help make the empire larger and stronger. I'm gonna go false. Nope.
Yeah, I think they just kept. I feel that's not why they stopped doing it.
They probably stopped doing it because fucking they kept getting like crazy sons of bitches in.
Yeah, I don't know why we just keep getting these people at the top who like murdering everybody.
We're on the 4th genocide of our own people. We're starting to question if these methods are correct.
Yeah. Well, they didn't just stop at killing the male heirs, right?
Oh, yeah. They killed
Like,
everybody.
they just started killing everybody.
So, yeah, I don't think marrying. I don't think like a politically.
I think they figured out marriage before this. I'm sure they were aware of it.
Yeah, marrying outside the family, like, because then like the problem is, marriage works if there is a set lineage, right? So if the oldest becomes heir, right, then it's like, okay, he can go and marry, kind of like how Europe did it, right? Like you can go marry this person being the younger brother, and that unites the two countries or whatever. And then, like, oh, the older brother can't produce an heir, but the younger brother has one. He's got the claim to the throne because he's the oldest, right? Or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense to me. But, like, this one is still free for all. Like, it sounds like even if you were to marry them off, you're still going to try to kill them.
100%. Yeah.
So that's what I'm feeling. What are you feeling?
Well, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I mean, maybe they just got tired of having to pay alimony to all the widows. Like, there's like 12 of them. Oh my god.
I mean, women were probably killed with the dudes, right? Like, or buried with them alive.
Well, obviously they're nothing without their man, so yeah, probably.
You know what? I thought it would be fun to learn more about the Ottoman Empire. This is not fun. This is...
You fool. You fool.
Well, you think after doing a history podcast for so long, I would learn that humanity's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, we're just not equipped. It's lucky that we can breed pretty quickly, right? Because we would have been hosed.
We're
so
lucky
long
that
ago.
our body, like, instinctively does it.
Yeah. Like, if we didn't...
like, at some point, you know, there would be those weird hippie people, those anti-vaxxers, are like, we don't need to breathe.
Could you imagine if...
That's
like,
how the toxins get in.
Okay, wait. Real talk. The Ottoman Empire lasted so long. I wonder if there's going to be a question on this. I don't know why. Something had to come together to last that long. It's a pretty long kind of go.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm like, dude, people are so stupid. The stupid tactics work. You know?
I mean, you know, we can look at, you know, and be like, oh, it was dumb, but it made sense to them at the time. And also, if you're ruled by a bunch of crazy murderous people, are you going to say something?
But there was a jump. There was a jump between, like, fucking Caesar, who just felt betrayed, right? The written testimonies was he declared or outcried the assassination of Caesar, right? When they all stabbed him. And then Shakespeare even mentioned it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was shocked and appalled. Fucking, but like, this shit sounds like they should be expecting it. Like, hey man.
Well, yeah.
Like, the family's probably kidding about it, but not kidding. Like, I'll see you later tonight.
Yeah. Look, I mean, you know, they're just kind of, you know, no pun intended, they're cutting out the middleman. They're like, look, we be scheming.
Yeah. Well, they're strangling out the middleman, right? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, they wouldn't be cutting out the middleman. Yeah.
No, they got a cable for
that. They got right to it. They're just like, they took politics out of it, really.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
So, I'm going to go false for fact number 3. I don't think they ever stopped. I think they just kept going, kept killing. They may have married people off, but they just kept killing.
I think they eventually stopped. I just don't think it was because they figured out how marriage works.
Well, women too. The women could have been married off. That's your marriage fodder.
Right. I think just enough, like, eventually, like, all the sons murdered each other and they were just left with women. And they're like, maybe if you kept the dudes around. And they're like, huh.
We didn't expect that 2 brothers could strangle each other simultaneously.
You know, they ended up with a bunch of women and they're like, well, we can't have them in charge. And so they're like, maybe we stop murdering each other.
That would be ridiculous.
That'd be silly.
We got to just get these guys to stop strangling each other.
Yeah.
Fuck. So, all right, let's go false on fact number 3, because I don't think they did.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're going to go false on fact number 3. The Ottomans eventually stopped killing their brothers because they realized they can just marry them off. 3, 2, 1, bam. It is false. This is from Wikipedia and Smithsonian Mag, article by Mike Dash titled The Ottoman Empire's Life or Death Race. In 1595, Sultan Mehmed III ascended to the throne when his father died and promptly invited his 19 brothers, mostly children, to the palace for a circumcision ceremony, reassuring them that they would be safe. He lied. One by one, they were taken into an adjoining room and strangled to death with a silk cable, silk-covered bowstring, by deaf-mute servants so that none of the details could be leaked. He later executed the executioners to ensure no witnesses remained.
Dude, that got so... I was fucking around about the Rube Goldbergs. That got complicated, dog.
Oh, dude. Mehmed was informed that 7 of his father's concubines were pregnant with his half-siblings, so he had the women sewn up into bags and tossed into the river to drown, preventing them from becoming a problem later.
What?
The 19 murdered brothers were proudly given a lavish public funeral with honors, but the Sultan had not read the room. Public sentiment had shifted after seeing the bodies of so many children being taken one by one out of the palace. The child killing was seen as cruel and unnecessary compared to the killing of the adult rivals. This child massacre was a bridge too far and thus ended the tradition of Ottoman fratricide. Wait. Writer, unless you're leading us into some hilarious shit later, I'm gonna need more, right? Because humanity is a lot of things, but we are not subtle. Okay, there is no like, all right, I'll go talk to him. Hey man, can we stop killing these kids? You know, like you could kill. There's an age limit now. Murder.
Well, I was not
murder.
I wasn't aware of this. Did you poll people?
So we just saw a lot of kids leaving here, and I'm just saying I was fine with it, but a lot of other people didn't it.
But who did this? Like, you can't trust like those statistics.
Fake news, Your Highness.
Yeah, like what's Reuters say about it?
Stephen Miller is saying there's not a problem with this.
So it's legal.
Stevenicus Millerkiss.
I mean, I thought, look, as leader of Doge, I was just being efficient. I just thought to do all 19 at the same time.
So, I would like more info. I'm curious now because I can't imagine, like, this kind of jumped into, like, if population could just come together and, like, be like, you know, knock it off with this infanticide, then, you know, was there storming? Did they fucking kill this guy? Did they just like run in there and just be like there's no appease, like going to him being like, there's too much.
He learned his lesson after this one.
Yeah, like, because they had to take enjoyment out of seeing royalty die. Because they said it's one thing for that, but now it's another thing to see kids.
Like, yeah, no, like that's the thing. Like, it, like, as much as we like to see rich people get fucked up, is like eventually, like, oh, rich. I mean, they're still kids, though.
Yeah, they don't
rich
know.
Kids.
Yeah. So
it's like remember when that submarine got crushed and everybody was like was sad about the teenage son.
Well, I think the other worst part is he didn't even want to be there.
Yeah, that's why everyone was like, "Oh, he's only there because his dad sucked."
Yeah, I mean, he was a billionaire's son, so he lived well, but it was short. Yeah. So, yeah, these kids, dude, they, same thing, right? So the population was like, look, Your Highness.
Yeah.
We think it's best if you don't kill them till, let's say, 18. Just a number.
Yeah. Or, like, could we at least not drag him out broad daylight? Because, like, I feel it was the sight of all 19 that really did it.
I propose 2 different chambers, okay? One public chamber for the adult dead brothers, the other one for the not adult dead brothers. That's not as public. The king's
Okay.
just like, nah, that ain't gonna work. It's too much money.
Did you get bids on that?
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
Just take them out the front.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Look.
Don't spoil my garden.
Yeah. Look. I'm cool with the 19 kids, but the bags into the river. Was hanging just not in the question?
Like, I don't know, man. Like, that just seems like a little over the top. Yeah.
A bit much. You sewed them up in a bag.
Could you make the case that she is not royal, so spilling that blood, like, you couldn't just stab him? I mean, I know this. I mean, we're trying to find a workaround to the cruelty. At the end of the day, you could have just not killed him. You know.
Whoa. Again.
Look.
I mean, see, this is what happens when you let the left agenda in. You give them an inch and they just want to take gender.
I forgot. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
Good.
So that's how that ended then. That's good, right? In a way. I mean, almost 20 kids died. That's brutal. Fucking brutal. Brutal. And then he killed. That's what he did. So he had his brothers gone off. And then he killed the dudes that did it. Even though they were deaf and mute. They couldn't even say anything.
Yeah.
They're like,
well, and like, this is why like conspiracy theories never work. This dude killed every single person who was involved in this, and it still got out.
And it still happened to get out.
It's still, like, the public still found out, dude.
They found out and took action. I want to.
Yeah. Like,
how
this,
funny
this is why you can't have, you know, the Illuminati running shit. Like, someone's gonna black.
But we got it right, so that's a win for us, I guess.
At least, hey, silver lining.
Silver linings, yep. All right, here we go. Fact number 4. The practice that emerged after fratricide was in many ways worse.
Oh, God.
For the empire, or for the individuals and the empire as a whole. That's it. She doesn't say what it is. So we have to figure out if it's worse. And yeah.
I mean,
humans.
If by worse you mean they probably were slightly less. Well, it probably fractured the empire. That's probably when, right? Because now you have more people with.
This is the practice. It says here the practice that emerged after the fratricide or whatever. In many ways was worse for the individuals and the empire as a whole. So,
right.
What the fuck's worse than like killing?
Well, I
your
imagine
family?
Now you just start all out wars, right?
So what do you get? Just sections of the kingdom, and then you just fight it out. You're just like, yeah,
because like as bad as fratricide was, it was like housed within the family, but now
one person died.
Now, if somebody wants power, you gotta take it by force.
All right. Well, I want to see what it is. So I agree. Actually, that's a good point. So I'm gonna go true.
Yeah.
I think it. All right. Let's go true. In fact, number 4, I want to see what it is. That the practice that emerged from the fratricide was in many ways worse for the individuals and the empire.
Yeah.
3.
It led to democracy.
Oh, gross.
Ugh.
Even it led to communism. Oh dear God.
Oh dear God.
All right, 3, 2, 1, bam. It is true.
Oh,
this is from Mike Dash article, Ancient Origins, JSTOR, Medium and Big Think. After Mehmed III's baby massacre, fratricide fell out of fashion, but they still need a practical way to prevent conflicts, factions, and usurpers from making claims to the throne. The system that arose was coffes, which roughly translates to cages. These were not cages in the way we think of today, but more lavish wing of the palace that they could never ever leave, similar to strict house arrest. In coffes, the royal family members would receive a limited education, gross infertile concubines, and a strict list of recreational activities that include things like poetry, music, handwriting, and crafts. They were under constant guard not allowed to leave until a succession event made it necessary to pull someone out.
Oh,
There's more, but they just had like a zoo for royalty. And they're like, all right, bring the flock in. We got to figure out who's the king now. Last king pooped himself to death, so bring the new ones in. Where's the next batch?
Royal people are so fucking weird. It's like, just let them, I don't know, be kids. And they're just like, no, lock them up.
That's weird.
It's so like, oh, gross. Like, what? No. Give them a concubine.
Give them a concubine.
And, like, and an arithmetic teacher. And there you go.
And a wing of the
They
palace.
get the West Wing. Make them. You ever seen Beauty and the Beast?
This is exactly how Trump
grew up. We skip straight to Beast.
Dude, this is Trump, right? Fred Trump.
If you told me that Mar-a-Lago was divided up per sibling, I'd fucking believe you. That's why Eric Trump clearly got the dumb wing.
Like, Eric Trump and Barron. They have to live on other sides of the Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Right? They don't like each other.
I don't like them to mingle. It's weird. It's gross.
It's just
I never saw my dad till I was 32.
All right, wait. So they're one of the most notorious sultans, Ibrahim the Mad, have been confined
I wonder why his mental state wasn't so great.
It's a mystery to be solved. Confined to cafes since he was about a month old.
Oh my god!
Along with his brothers, after their sultan uncle died, Ibrahim's oldest brother took the throne and ordered 2 of his younger brothers executed.
Good God!
Ibrahim was only spared thanks to the intervention of their mother. Ibrahim thus lived his entire life in constant fear of being murked, which took a massive toll on his mental health. When he was informed that his sultan brother had died and it was his turn to take the throne, he refused to leave, convinced it was a trap. It took his mother, high-ranking officials, and personal examination of the body to get him to accept that he was the new sultan. Turns out 2 decades of complete isolation do nothing but macram, and playing the lute does not adequately prepare someone to run a vast intercontinental empire. Historians view him as a weak and ineffectual leader, but it was his personal proclivities that earned his title the Mad. He did all the dumb shit newly rich person would do, like putting diamonds in his beard and drowning everything in so much perfume it made people sick. One source said that he would host orgies in giant mirrored rooms where his concubines were lined up as the mayors. And he was
Tony Montoya.
Yeah, fucking A, dude. God damn it. He's the stallion trying to fuck as many of them as he could before exhausting himself. He really liked
good cardio.
I mean, I don't think it didn't do anything for his health. They had like 1,000 people work in the kitchen, dude. He'd burn 2,000 calories and eat 10.
I'm trying to find anything here, Alex.
A silver lining.
Just give me this.
At this point, like, the Ottoman Empire is not looking good. I thought there'd be a sliver or something.
It doesn't sound fun. I was hoping for a little bit more people just putting their feet up on furniture.
You know, like, fucking, at least the Roman Empire with gladiators, fucking, the community got together, right? They all hung out. I'm sure there was, like, support structures built, like, hey, man, I know life's hard, but at least we got these gladiatorial games to go to. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, at least they had something. Like, this is
they dabbled with a republic, you know.
Yeah, they toyed with it. It's still early stages, but this is straight up just fucking crazy. It says here, he really liked big, beautiful ladies, and once ordered the entire empire to find him the fattest woman in Constantinople. They returned with a woman. Positive. They returned with a woman of Armenian descent, daughter of a shipping merchant who was morbidly obese. She was given a high position in his consort and a new name that meant flirty.
All right.
One night, Flirty whispered in his ear that one of his concubines had slept with an outsider. He became enraged, and all of them tortured. None confessed or snitched, so either someone was lying or it never happened. Convinced it was the former, it never happened, he had his entire harem of 280 women tied to sacks with stones and drowned at the same time.
What is it with the sacks?
Dude, I don't... His chief consort... God. His chief consort and legal wife was furious and had Flirty poison, but told the devastated Ibrahim she died naturally. Ibrahim only ruled for 8 debaucherous years before the elites decided it was enough, and he was ousted and returned to cafes, where his life started as a baby. 10 days later, he was strangled to death with a silk cord.
Hey, I mean, the old times just don't go out of fashion, I guess.
Dude, it's a classic, right?
Yeah.
It's a classic for a reason. It's an oldie but a goodie.
What a ride, man.
Dude, fuck. What's with the sacks? Like, what is that?
Right, like,
it's a mystery, dude.
I don't, that's so elaborate and so awful, I just don't,
like, but, you know, I don't fucking know. That is wild.
So yeah, that was, I didn't think it could get sadder than baby murder, but somehow, like, an isolated child growing up to be a crazy person is like, yeah, that's cool. We hit a different low.
What did the Mad King do in Game of Thrones to get whacked by the Lannister?
Oh, he threatened to
burn the city,
burn everybody. Yeah, that's what he did.
Oh, okay, so not just a handful of people, but like everybody, like burn the whole city down.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a little extreme. I thought it was just a smaller group of people, but I mean, this guy got outed after 280. But see, it's 280 hot chicks probably. So that's basically million peasants, 2 million peasants.
I mean, look, Flirty saw her shot and took it. She was like, I see it a way to be number one.
Yeah. But she wasn't even the chief consort. She was just like the one he had the biggest boner for.
Yeah. But I wish Flirty had a longer run, but
I don't know, dude. Everybody be dead.
Yeah.
Flirty's like, your brother's trying to kill you. You got to get him. Dude, it sounds like she might have been a little crazy too.
It sounds like Flirty knew the game.
That's true.
And
she played the game. She got 280 people.
She got close. Also, 280, man. Like, what is... This seems too many.
Yeah, it's a little over the top. A little over the top. So, all right. Well, dude, we're 4 out of 4 right now. Dude. We got one more question left. We're owning this Ottoman Empire thing. It's depressing.
Should take a week break more often.
I know, dude. We're fucking walking out of this champions, dude. All right, here we go. Fact number 5. The process of locking one's brother up in the palace eventually led to the collapse of the empire.
I mean, yeah, probably. Like
1922 was when they ended. So electricity was around.
Also when you're around for 700 and some change years, like, is that the one thing that led to it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be a lot. Or maybe they just didn't have a...
Well, like,
maybe...
I think, too, like, the ultimate collapse is, like, they picked the side of the Germans in World War I.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was, like, what really... That was the last death nail. Because after that, like, it just got cut up and stuff like that, so...
Yeah, maybe they needed somebody, like, there were too many young people, couldn't run the country. And so it was a decision by committee, maybe, and that was World War II. Because it doesn't say it didn't say it's the reason for the collapse. It led to the collapse.
But it started leading to it, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine a bunch of isolated, probably not doing great mentally, people don't run a country well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would you get a bunch of weirdos. They're basically a bunch of like shut-in incels. Well, they're not even incels though. Okay,
no, they're not celibate at all.
No, they have So what do they got to go crazy over? They get fucking food whenever they want. They can just sit around playing.
So
fucking...
what are they complaining about? They're just like shot out the womb into loneliness and only ever see prostitutes and teachers.
They're not lonely. They get people. They get food. Like, okay, wait.
They get employees. It's different.
Yeah, but they're shot out of the womb.
Well, and then every
like,
now
the
and again you get called in to a circumcision party, and it might be murder. I don't know. What are they whining about?
Yeah, that is true. That guy, dude, they rolled that one back specifically for
Like,
him.
I mean, they spend so much time in loneliness that, like, when they or like, no, like, it's fine. You can come out. You can come to the palace. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a trick.
Going to have to respectfully decline.
I'm just gonna stay here because I'm pretty sure that's where death lies.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in my West Wing. Okay, my favorite concubine is here. All right. So.
Well, like, maybe you don't get all the concubines and stuff like that until you're sultan.
Oh yeah, maybe you just get the shitty ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just get like one or two. You know, you get your brother hand-me-downs.
Yeah, dude. Once you're sultan, you get that 280. You know?
Yeah,
that's what you get. And then you get access to flirty. Oh, no, it says here they only get access to infertile concubines.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they can't even make an heir. Waste of time.
That makes sense. I mean,
fucking ridiculous, dude. Fucking rich people.
Out of control.
So yeah, I'm gonna say, let's just say true. You want to do that? I think it is true. That led to the fall of the empire.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
I mean, shit. So okay. So for fact number 5, the process of locking one's brother up in the palace eventually led to the collapse of the empire. We're gonna go true. 3, 2, 1, bam! It is true. 5 out of 5. Whoa! The Ottoman Empire's final true sultan spent 57 years in the palace, basically doing nothing. He was the youngest son and 10th in the line, which is why he didn't ascend to the throne until much later in life. He also ascended to the throne with 0 governing experience in 1918, sort of a pivotal time in world history that could have been really used, or that could have really used some leadership experience. 4 months into his reign, he capitulated to the Allied forces and agreed to armistice, an armistice treaty that allowed them to occupy parts of Constantinople. In 1920, he capitulated further, allowing the Ottoman Empire to be carved up, its finances to be placed under foreign control, and for all intents and purposes ended its sovereignty. In 1922, fearing for his life, he fled abroad, or aboard an English ship, ended up in Italy, and died in exile 4 years later. He probably died of heart disease, but unlike the lavish life of a sultan at the peak of the empire, he died in relative poverty and obscurity. According to historical accounts, the sultan's financial situation was so dire that after his death, his creditors placed a lien on his coffin. His burial was delayed until donations could be collected to settle his debts and the original GoFundMe. Crazy to think we might possibly have an Ottoman Empire if they only kept murking their relatives instead of creating centuries of lame duck rulers through isolation and paranoia.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird to be like, wow, you got better results with baby murder.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, you only get like what, a couple of good decades out of that methodology, but like fucking murking your family, dude, that was centuries.
Yeah.
And the people were entertained, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just couldn't do too many at a time.
No,
you just couldn't get greedy with it.
280 prostitutes, or no, I'm sorry, concubines though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be able to replenish those numbers quickly.
Yeah, but like, are they going to be good numbers? Like, you know.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like, you still
you get 280, and then obviously you get a flirty in there who's like, take them all out.
Take them out. Where are the sacks?
Yeah. I need 280 sacks.
I need 200. Yeah, you see that order come down, you know there's trouble.
Yeah.
You fucking get out of there as a concubine.
What's going on? We're building a dam.
Yeah. Hey, what are the dimensions of you? I just want to make. I'm just curious.
Measured.
I'm just curious, you know.
Or what are you, like a 13?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how much do you float? Are you 5 stones will hold you down? Okay.
You ever been at the bottom of a well?
How good of a swimmer are you? Oh.
Goodbye, concubine.
Yeah, dude, he's just in there. I guarantee you he did that shit, dude. It sounds like he was crazy. I like how they declare he's the mad. Like, they didn't do it as, like, in the moment. Historians had to come back and be like, this guy's fucking insane.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, like, the people at the time were like, it is what it is. Ottomans, am I right?
Rich people, am I right?
Crazy. Yeah. Anyways, how them crops doing this year? Like, well, we got a 5 for 5 this year, apparently. We do much better than we think we do with the Ottoman Empire.
Apparently, you should give us stuff we don't know anything about.
Yeah, I mean, when we don't have the opportunity to overthink it, we get shit done. So fucking go us, dude. Go us. So you want to close this one out, dude? Fucking
there you have it. That was this week's Allegendly podcast. If you'd like more stuff from us, follow us on Blue Sky and TikTok at Allegendly. If you'd like to give us your facts about, if you'd like to show us your silk ribbon collection, do that at allegedly.podcast@gmail.com. And of course, you can find the audio version of this wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're in the mood, hit all the buttons. Hit every button you see. We go for the engagement. We're just in it.
Yeah.
We're just in it here for the engagement of it.
You know, we'd rather be a small, podcast because we want to be creative than a big one.
Look, like once you get facts about the Ottoman Empire out to the mainstream, it's just not the same.
It's not the same. So you gotta finish it, dude. Sorry, I interrupted right at the end.
Oh, and until next time, I'll throw you in a sack and drown you around.